Hi there, and welcome to my ADHD blog at andrewcover.com. Today I'm going to talk about, uh, we know what living with ADHD and the experiences associated with living with the disorder is like, but why do we have it, and what can we do to manage some of those symptoms? So to begin, I'd like to share just a quick little scenario about a young professional who has a lunch break. This young professional has 30 to 45 minutes for their lunch, and on this lunch break, they have two tasks that they'd like to accomplish. One, go to the pharmacy and pick up their prescription drugs, and secondly, get lunch. They decide they're going to get in their car. They're driving to the pharmacy, and when they get to the pharmacy, they realize, I was thinking about this question to ask about my dosage, so I better go in so I can talk to the pharmacist. You go into the pharmacy, you're waiting in line, it's your turn. The pharmacist is all of a sudden unavailable for a couple of minutes on the phone. The pharmacist finally, after you've been waiting for 5, 6 minutes, comes back and says, "How can I help you?" You ask your question, everything's right in the world. Not a problem. Only took about 10 minutes. But while you're there, you think to yourself, well, I'd like to drop off the movie that I picked up this weekend, and I know I was going to do it after work, but I'd really like to get home a little sooner so I could spend it with my loved ones. So you decide, the grocery store's right there where I can drop off this movie, and that's what I'm going to do. So you go park your car at the store, you walk in, and before you go stand in line, drop off your movie, you think to yourself, I'm a little parched. I'd like to get myself something to drink. And it's lunchtime. I've already eaten something, so might as well. And so you go and you stand in line, and you're waiting and waiting, and the cashier's a little slower than usual. And so you go, and finally it's your turn. You're able to pay for your beverage. Now it's time to drop off that movie. You walk over to where you can drop off that movie, and there's a line. There's always a line at the movie rental. So you go, you're waiting in line, getting frustrated, thinking, my goodness, I hope I'm not late. And it's finally your turn. Drop off your movie. Out the door you go, back to your car. Okay, you got 10, 15 minutes to grab yourself something to eat. Well, you're thinking, okay, where can I go? Where can I go? You got 10, 15 minutes, not a whole lot of time. Well, I'm going to go to Subway. Subway's a good choice. Healthy eating, healthy lifestyle. That also reduces your ADHD symptoms. So you drive Subway right down the road, park the car, walk in. There's a line. There's always a line at Subway. It's lunchtime. So you're waiting in line, trying to decide what it is that you're going to get. You look over. An old neighbor comes walking in, a neighbor that you used to really enjoy interacting with. And you get lost in a conversation. Hey, how you doing? It's so good to see you. You order your sub. So how are you? How are the pets? How are the kids? The neighbor gets their sub. You walk out to the car together. Hey, it was fantastic seeing you. You should come to my dinner party next week we're having, and you should do this with us over Memorial Day. And okay, good to see you. We'll talk to you later. You reach for your keys. They're in Subway. You walk back in the Subway, grab your keys, get into your car, turn the car on, look at the time. You're 10 minutes late for your meeting now. You spent 20, 25 minutes in line at Subway. You are 10 minutes late for your meeting. You can feel your blood pressure increase. You're frustrated. You're getting angry. You start negative talking yourself. I'm so stupid. I can't believe I did that. And what's the outcome? This young professional, what? Has no sub for lunch, at least that they can eat now. Is going to be late for a meeting that was very important. Okay? So why did this happen? Well, people with ADHD, just calling it an attention deficit is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more to it than just attention deficit. In that little scenario, we saw somebody that had time management issues. We had somebody who had organization issues with losing keys, organizing themselves. They had impulse, right, where they got really angry and started yelling at themselves negatively, right? That's impulsive, not thinking about that, okay? So why does this happen? Well, this happens because there's a chemical in our brain that's a little off kilter, either too much or too little, right? And whenever we have our neurochemistry is off. One of them, everybody knows, is dopamine. Whenever dopamine is a little off in our brains, then we don't function optimally. Okay, our neurochemicals have to be just right in order for us to function optimally. So how can we reduce some of this? Well, one way that we can reduce it is by externalizing those executive functions, right? One quick and easy tip for externalizing that executive function and some of the negative symptoms that come along with not being able to manage them is write it out. Okay? Our brains operate differently, and that's okay, right? Not everybody is supposed to be the same, right? My chemical balance is going to be a little different than Joe Schmo down the road and Steve B up the street. Okay, that's okay. But understanding that and understanding that I have to take control over my executive functions is easily done with an agenda, right? When does it make sense to do certain activities? Really thinking that out, preparing it for every single day. Thinking, okay, if I've got to drop off a movie, when is the best time to do that? If you've got it scheduled for after work, do it after work. That way you don't get yourself in any kind of situation where you're looked at as ineffective or unprofessional. Um, so that's the tip for the day. Externalize those executive functions. Get an agenda and plan every single day. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay? Enjoy your week. Enjoy life. ADHD has so many things that offers our society that sometimes you just got to work a little bit at getting there. All right? We'll talk to you real soon.